Our pearls write me about it all the time, and I know exactly how it feels. The complete hopelessness that comes when trying to figure out the first steps to starting a budget. There are so many factors that play into a giant web that builds your family finances. The never-ending expenses, your family income, emergency costs, and bills, just to name a few. Just thinking about it all quickly gets your head just spinning. Where in the world do you start? What numbers do you look at first? Right now, it might feel overwhelming trying to decipher where to begin, but by the end of this video, you will have a clear picture on what needs to happen first when it comes to starting a budget for the last time. This is the last time I want you to ever start a budget. Welcome back, Pearls. I am so glad you're here. If you're new, I'll introduce myself super fast. My name is Brittany, and this is Pennies into Pearls. This is where I want you to come every time you need inspiration and motivation to make small changes in your everyday life in order to start achieving some seriously dream-worthy goals. If that sounds like something you need in your life, then consider hitting that subscribe button. So where do you start when budgeting feels like a hopeless cause? Before we dive deep into that topic, I want to remind you to check all the links in the description box. I always leave links to related videos like our basics of our family budget or how to start a cash envelope system for beginners. All videos like that, I always link them in the description box, so make it a habit to start checking those. That's also where you will find the free downloads that I talk about. There is freedom in creating a goal-based budget. Let's dive into it. First, it is important for you to understand that starting a budget isn't a bad thing. Not at all. It's actually really freeing. When set up correctly, a budget is a financial action plan to achieving your goals. Never think of it as being a restrictive thing. A budget is where you get to tell your money what you want it to do. Put that cash to work. Make that cash work hard in getting you closer and closer to achieving your goals. It's up to you. You are going to learn the way of intentional spending. You'll learn that when you have to say no to something, it's just clearing the path to say yes, please, to something you actually care about. Speaking of freebies, I want to let you know about my free Budgeting for Beginners starter kit. You've probably seen them if you've watched any of my monthly family budget updates. In those, I share with you the exact numbers of our family finances in a Google spreadsheet. This system is what we started using several years ago that helped us get out of over $20,000 in debt. You can get the same budgeting starter kit for free. It includes all the tools you need for getting your budget started on the right foot. It includes not only the Google Sheets template with all the formulas ready for you, but there is also a printable version so you can use pen and paper if that's your thing. I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to grab your free download. All right, let's get you started. The first thing you need to do when starting your budget is to get a clear picture of where your finances are currently sitting right now. You do this by taking a look over your income and expenses. It's best to do this by converting all the numbers we're looking at, all the numbers I'm talking about right now, into monthly averages. I'm going to explain what that means. That way you are comparing apples to apples. To get your average monthly income, add up all family income for the past 6 months. Then divide that total number by 6. The number you get is your average monthly income. In order to figure out your average monthly expenses, first start by using a tool like Mint.com to track your spending trends for the past 3 months. There's lots of other options, but Mint.com is the one that I've used and it's totally free. It's really easy to connect your debit and credit cards and have the program track and categorize all your spending for you. Set the time frame to figure out how much you spent over the past 3 months, then divide that total number by 3 to get a very basic outlook on the average monthly expenses. Now you can compare your monthly average income to your monthly average expenses. There's a few things you need to evaluate here. Are you spending more than you're making? Maybe you're cutting it way too close and making things really uncomfortable every single month. Is there room for movement? With your current spending habits in place, is there any cash left over to work towards your goals? If your answer is no, well then why in the world not? If your money isn't going towards your dreams and your goals, then where is it going? Chances are you aren't 100% sure where all that money is going. Those $3 stops at Starbucks and $7 trips through the drive-thru add up insanely fast. Back when it was just hubby and I, right before we started demolishing our $20,000 in debt, we discovered that we were spending over $1,000 a month on food. How crazy is that? What a waste! I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but because we were spending money faster than it was coming in, that life goal was out of reach. But man, what a simple fix. That's the good news. You worked hard for your money. Stop letting it slip away on insignificant splurges and make room for what really matters in your life. Take a good look at your spending categories and see where you can trim the spending fat in order to make room for some really amazing goals for your family. Cutting back on spending is the easiest way to make room in your budget. Much easier than going out and getting a second job. Trimming all that extra spending is such a useful tool that I want to talk to you guys way more about it. There's so much more that we can go into it. So come January 2019, I will be doing an in-depth webinar training with family-friendly strategies to drastically cut back spending and make room in your budget for what matters most to your family and your future together. You will not want to miss this. There's going to be a link down below for you to sign up for my free email newsletter so you can be sure and find out right away when enrollment opens. So let's talk about getting started with budgeting when you're actually already behind on bills, because I know that's one of the big topics I get asked about a lot. If you're behind on bills, don't let that stop you. It's all the more reason to get a budget set in place. Use a budget as a roadmap to get back on top. Follow the steps we just talked about in order to compare your income and expenses. Then continue in making as much room as possible in your extra cash by cutting back your spending. You need to go extreme here. If you need to get rid of cable, cut it. If you need to cut and color your hair at home, look up some good YouTube videos and get to work. You gotta work hard here, Pearl, and you can do it. Another way to get cash quick in order to get caught up on all those bills is to start selling everything but the kitchen sink. Seriously, if it is not a vital part of your family's livelihood, you gotta sell it. You need that extra cash right now, quick, in order to get back on top of those bills. You might have to cut some sentimental ties. It might be hard, really hard, but what's more important? Keeping that couch from when you were first married, even if it's not that comfortable, or selling it in order to gain your financial self-reliance. Those two skills can help make a lot of room in your budget. With all that room, immediately start putting it towards getting caught up on your bills. No questions asked. All that extra cash is just gonna go straight towards all your past due bills. Now, what about getting started when you're deep in debt? This is the exact situation hubby and I found ourselves in back in 2011. We had finally had our first miracle baby after 4 years of trying. The bad news was that I had to go back to work all too soon, which I didn't want to do at all because we hadn't figured out how to run a basic budget and we were in over $20,000 in debt. We both wanted so badly for me to be a stay-at-home mom, but because of our bad habits and our debt, it wasn't even an option at that time. Something had to change. That was the fire that got our booties moving. So if you're trying to figure out how to start a budget and are in debt, know that it's 100% possible. You need a budget to be used as a financial action plan to demolish that debt and move on to more exciting things for your family's future. So same thing. Again, follow the steps in comparing your income to expenses. Also, find every possible way to cut back spending and find that extra cash to start throwing at your debt. Even if it's an extra $5, put it in your extra payment this month. Remember how we were talking about those $5 Starbucks trips and how quickly they added up? Those few extra dollars towards your debt payments are gonna move the needle fast, and before you know it, you will be living a debt-free and fabulous life. But there might be an occasion where you need some more cash. What if you made every cut in spending possible and are left sitting in pillows on the floor because you sold everything you could possibly think of and still don't have much wiggle room to put cash towards your goals? In this case, it is time to start looking for an alternative or additional income opportunities. That might mean finding a temporary side hustle while you work on some goals. It might mean thoughtfully and strategically going to your boss to ask for a well-deserved raise. Or it might look like making some major life changes in order to start down a new career path. Either way, you can make it work. Nope, I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I'm saying that you can do it. Don't let the confusion of getting started paralyze you from moving forward. Start with step 1 and then keep the momentum going. If you base your budget off of your long-term goals, that's what's going to keep you excited and motivated. I get it. I really do. I remember wishing so bad when we were trying to get our family finances under control that someone could sit next to me and that they could tell me what to do and what was going to be next. That's what I want so badly to do for you guys. This is exactly why I've been working so hard at creating my brand new online course, 30-Day Family Finance Rescue, inspiring moms and wives to take control of their family finances and make living a life on a budget irresistible. It really can be like that. In this course, it's a step-by-step 4-week plan to save your family from bondage of living that paycheck to paycheck life. You're going to learn the skills necessary to once and for all be the boss of your money, demolish any debt you might have, and become a financial goal crusher and get insanely motivated to stick with it in order to transform your unthinkable goals into your family's reality. With this course, you're going to learn how to control your spending, break all your bad financial habits, and replace them with good ones. You're going to learn how to permanently get out of debt, figure out what's next, and create a custom goal-based budget that is going to keep you insanely motivated to keep going. Your goal-based budget is going to work as your turn-by-turn GPS directions on how to work towards where you want your life to go. So enrollment isn't currently open, but if you're signed up for my free email newsletter, you'll be sure to not miss your chance at rescuing your family finances. It's only going to be open for a few days, so you don't want to miss out. Again, don't forget the link to sign up for my newsletter is in the description box. Time for questions. I've got a question for you. Down in the comments, let's chat about what is most overwhelming you when it comes to starting or restarting a budget. I know how you feel, and I am here to help any way I can. Thank you so much for stopping in. If you liked this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and to share it on your social media with your friends. I'll talk to you soon, Pearls. Bye.